Have you ever stopped to think about how an organization as massive as HMRC manages to handle millions and millions of tax payments? I mean, with such clockwork precision. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the powerful engine that makes it all happen, the UK's National Direct Debit System.
And to help us break this all down, this presentation has been developed by the real experts over at ProTax Accountant. Honestly, these guys are absolute masters when it comes to demystifying the UK tax system. They've helped us put together this whole breakdown, and it's packed with the very latest insights for the 2025-26 tax year.
Okay, so let's get right to it. Have you ever wondered what actually happens when you go to pay your tax bill? You set it all up, you click confirm, and then what? How does that money magically leave your account and find its way to HMRC, safe and sound? That's the exact journey we're going to trace today.
Right, so before we can really get a grip on how HMRC collects your taxes, we kind of need to zoom out a bit. We need to look at the bigger picture. We're talking about this huge, almost invisible engine that powers countless automated payments all across the UK every single day. Think about it. Your mortgage, your phone bill, even your Netflix subscription, it's all part of this.
Okay, get ready for this because this number is just mind-boggling. In recent figures, this system handled transactions worth a colossal £6.5 trillion. No, that is not a typo. £6.5 trillion. It's basically the unsung hero of the entire UK economy, just quietly and reliably processing everything from our salaries to, you guessed it, our tax payments.
So what is this powerhouse called? It's BACS. That's B-A-C-S. The best way to picture it is like the digital plumbing of the UK's financial system. Seriously, every single time you set up a recurring payment, it's BACS working its magic in the background, making sure your money flows exactly where it's meant to go, right on time.
Now, here's a little secret about how BACS actually works. It's this beautifully simple 3-day cycle. On day 1, the organization, let's say HMRC, submits the payment instruction. On day 2, that's processing day, all the instructions get sorted out overnight. Then on day 3, boom, the money is debited from your account and credited to theirs. It's a masterclass in efficiency, really.
Okay, so that's the big engine, right? BACS. But now let's get specific. How does HMRC take all that power and use it for the super important job of collecting our taxes? Well, they've got their own special tool for that.
You see, you might think HMRC just plugs straight into the standard BACS system like everyone else, but nope. They actually have their own bespoke version, one that's been fine-tuned for all the unique challenges that come with collecting tax. It's called the National Direct Debit System, or NDDS for short, and honestly, it's a real game changer.
Now stay with me here, because this next point is where a lot of people get tripped up. HMRC actually uses 2 different direct debit systems. You've got the NDDS, which is like the versatile all-rounder. It handles all sorts of taxes, self-assessment, PAY, you name it, with really flexible plans. But then you've got the VAT online direct debit, and that's a specialist. It does one job and one job only, collecting VAT from online returns. Knowing the difference between these two is absolutely crucial.
And this is where the genius of the NDDS really shines through. It is not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal, far from it. Got a one-off payment to make? There's a single payment plan for that. Need to sort out a payment arrangement? You can use the time-to-pay plan. Want to spread the cost of your future self-assessment bill? The budget payment plan is your friend. It's like a Swiss Army knife of payment options designed to fit whatever your situation is.
So we've covered the what and the how. Now for the really important bit, the why. As a freelancer or a small business owner, how can you actually use these tools to make your life easier? Let's dive into that.
Let's talk about a real-life example. Meet Maria, a freelance consultant based in London. Now, like so many of us, she used to absolutely dread that January tax deadline. The panic was real. But then she discovered the budget payment plan through NDIDS. Now, instead of facing a heart-stopping bill at the start of the year, she just makes these manageable monthly payments. It's a small change, but it has had a massive impact on her peace of mind and, of course, her business's cash flow.
All right, here's a little pro tip for you, and this one could be a real game changer, especially if you're a VAT-registered business. Did you know that simply by paying your VAT using direct debit, you can actually get yourself a bit more time to pay? It's true. So here's how it works. Normally, your due date is 7 calendar days after your tax period ends. But if you file your return online, you get an extra 7 days. Okay, that's pretty good. But here's the magic part. If you also pay by direct debit, HMRC won't actually collect the payment until 3 bank working days after that extended deadline. So when you add it all up, you're getting at least 10 extra days before that money leaves your account. Just think about that. What could that extra cash flow flexibility do for your business? It's a simple little trick with a really powerful payoff. Okay, so the system is clearly a well-oiled machine. It's super efficient. But what happens if something goes wrong? What if a gear slips? What if there's a mistake? That is where the most crucial piece of this entire puzzle comes in. We're talking about the direct debit guarantee. This is your ultimate safety net. I mean, let's be real. With millions upon millions of transactions flying around, mistakes can happen. It's just a fact of life. An incorrect amount could be taken, maybe on the wrong date. It's possible. But the direct debit guarantee is basically an ironclad promise that you will never be left out of pocket because of an error made by an organization or your bank.
So what does this guarantee actually give you? Well, it boils down to a few simple but really powerful protections. First, you have to be notified in advance of any changes to the amount, the date, or how often they take the payment. Second, and this is the big one, if an error is made by either the organization or your bank, you are entitled to a full and immediate refund. No questions asked. You can also cancel a direct debit at any time, just by telling your bank. It's as simple and as powerful as that. Of course, it's a two-way street. If you get a refund you're not entitled to, you do have to pay it back.
Right, just a quick disclaimer before we wrap things up. The information in this presentation is for general purposes only. It's a great starting point, for sure, but you really shouldn't rely on it exclusively to make financial decisions. Everyone's situation is different.
So we've had a really good look under the bonnet of the tax payment system. The real question now is, are you ready to take control of your tax payments and make sure you're getting it right?
If you are, then you should really speak to the experts. The team at Pro Tax Accountant can guide you through everything from setting up the right payment plan to answering any other tax questions you might have. You can reach them on WhatsApp or give them a call on 079856 89912, or just drop them an email at info@protaxaccountant.co.uk. They'll get you sorted.